Welcome to the Family Geekery Podcast, a podcast for geeks from a family of geeks. We talk about comics, video games, and anything else geeky. I'm Chris.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Danny.
And today we're going to be talking about Wolverine Annual from 1995.
That was a long time ago.
Yes. But because we've got some kind of a Wolverine / Deadpool-ish type movie coming out here in the past week, we thought we'd talk about one of Wolverine's first team-ups with Deadpool.
Yeah.
That sound cool?
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask us about the movie. We haven't seen it yet.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I heard Wolverine's going to be in it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And Deadpool.
Whoa.
Whoa. All right, but before we talk about comic books, let's talk about our
Geeky Weeks.
Dang, that was good. That was like right on cue.
Mm-hmm.
111 episodes in, we got it down. We figured it out. We broke the formula.
We need a Geeky Weeks montage.
Well, we can do that. I just didn't want to put you out of work. Well, we'll have to use a montage if you're not here. If you play hooky one week. All right, so what is Geeky Weeks?
Geeky Weeks is we share what things we did geeky over the week.
Perfect. It's a good name for it. It's a great name for it. So who wants to go first?
I can go first. I have some memory.
Share some memory with us.
So I saw the Joker 2 trailer.
Okay, yep.
Joker and Harley Quinn or whatever they're calling it. Yep. It looks really good. I cannot wait for it. Love the Joker movie. So excited for Lady Gaga.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be shockingly a very dark movie.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it?
A complete departure from the first one. That was sarcasm.
Cat messing around.
Your cat?
Yeah.
I hear no cat.
Okay. She's messing with her tail.
Does she want to come on the show? Does she have a geeky week?
Gwen!
She is Geeky Week.
I also have been playing more League of Legends with that event that came out. With the Survivor.io type game mode.
Cool.
Trying to complete all the objectives. However, the client is notoriously bad. So not everything is working. But it's okay. And
are you using a client other than Epic? Or is that what you use now?
No, League of Legends has its own client.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I downloaded it on Epic. I haven't started it yet, but...
You downloaded League on Epic?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, they're in cahoots.
That's strange.
Mm-hmm.
But also a Sims 4 expansion pack came out. Sims 4 Lovestruck. That's what it's called. Lovestruck. It's goofy. It's weird. But I like it.
I heard the cat that time.
Come here, baby. Come here.
Whoa.
So has Sims 4 done a collab with that singer girl yet?
Which one?
Katy Perry?
No, that other singer girl.
Sabrina Carpenter?
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift. That
No.
one.
She's too famous for Sims.
She wouldn't stoop that low.
They have a couple celebrities in the game. Like Millie Bobby Brown. Like you can go to Maxis's gallery page and you can download Millie Bobby Brown and Baby Ariel, and I don't know who that is, but she's apparently famous. And some other like famous people that they've recreated in The Sims.
That's pretty
So
cool.
it's weird. It's strange. But I'm enjoying the new pack. They finally added like online dating. It's kind of like a dating app, which is
Oh,
funny.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like blind dates, and there's like a challenge. Like if your sim will get called on the phone, like, hey, complete 7 perfect dates within 7 days, and you'll get a reward. And it's like, oh, it's like a reality show. Cameras are going to be following you, and when you finish it, you get money and fame, which is funny. So I'm having fun with that right now.
The online dating part, it's not like, is it with NPCs? You're not actually dating some other person's sim, are you?
Well, that's the interesting part. So you can have it be they have a couple of settings. It is NPCs, like, but the sims in the dating app that are like generated will, depending on the setting, be just sims that are in the world, or sims that are saved in your gallery library. Or if you have it turned on, you can have the sims come from anywhere on the gallery. And I've not done that yet because
Whoa.
I
Who
feel
knows
like that would be
what it
kind
do?
of weird because there's a lot of different types of sims on the gallery. You might get like a recreation of some famous person, or like somebody's like ugly to beautiful challenge type person or something like that. So so I like how that's an option, but I like that you can toggle it off. Um, so
Can you combine the dating sim with the 100 baby challenge to help you along your way?
Oh, I
oh,
bet.
definitely.
That's the hardest part of
The
the
hardest part
100
is
Baby
finding people you
Challenge.
haven't romanced yet.
Finding more than 10 men in the world.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where the gallery would help with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. You can it gives you like 6 people, but you can refresh it every 12 hours and like them and start a date with them, and it's goofy.
That's pretty cool.
Schedule a
Yeah.
woohoo.
Schedule a woohoo.
Only 50 simoleons.
Ew. They did add like a motel that you can stay at and woohoo in.
Oh.
I haven't tried that part. I've barely played it, but it's funny.
So that
Eggplant
your
costumes.
seven kids don't see you woohooing with the next baby daddy.
Exactly.
Cool. Anything else?
I think that's mostly it.
All right, Danny, you want to go next?
Yeah. So I've been playing a little bit of Overwatch too. And because a new support came out, but I haven't been able to play them yet. So I've been playing the newest besides that support, Alari, and she's pretty cool.
There's one since Lifeweaver.
Yeah, and then there's another one that just came out, but
Huh.
she's not playable yet. But I only play support in Overwatch because it doesn't take much skill, so I'm able to play it. So
I would
I've
say that
been
many tanks don't take much skill either.
true.
Or soldier. Mr.
Yeah.
Aimbot Ultimate.
But I just been playing that,
Nice.
and then
Cool.
we found out that someone's playing Doctor Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a Comic-Con reveal.
RDJ.
I heard he came out with the mask on and like revealed it on stage.
Oh, you didn't
Oh,
see the
that's
video?
sick.
Oh, I did not see the video now.
They had like a bunch of Doctor Doom outfits, like people on there, and then he comes out wearing like the mask and like a green suit or something, and takes off the helmet and just stands there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I am Iron Man.
I keep seeing a bunch of memes on TikTok. They're like, Peter Parker's gonna see Dr. Doom and go crazy.
I've heard the what's the famous quote? You either
Die
die
a hero.
or live long enough to become
Yeah.
the villain. Yeah. That, and I was thinking, it's kind of fitting after a couple iterations of Fantastic Four movies having actors that become MCU characters. It's only fitting that we have an MCU actor become a Fantastic Four character.
Right, right.
And then at some point we can have Michael B. Jordan, Chris Evans, and Robert Downey Jr. have their own Fantastic Four movie together.
Mm-hmm. And they won't know each other.
Or would that be two Human Torches? That'd be two Human Torches, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. One can play the flame version and one can play the non-flame version.
But what about Robbie the Robot? We'd have Robert Downey Jr. have Robbie the Robot. Yeah, but that should be cool. I mean, he's a great actor. He probably won't have to have his mask off very much in the movie. So, good for him.
It's funny. I wonder how long that's been in cahoots, because everybody's like, oh, are you ever going to come back and play Iron Man?
Yeah.
He's like, who knows? Maybe one day. Meanwhile, he's Dr. Doom.
Yep. Very cool. All right. Anything else, Danny?
Nope.
All right. So I've been, let's see. I finished the Dreamlight Valley event the other day.
Nice.
Got through all the tasks. I was playing some Halls of Torment. That's the survivor type game, the vampire survivor type game. And I'm happy to say that I made it through a full 30-minute round.
Nice. Whoa. That's a long round for one of those games.
On two of the three characters so far. The third one I was doing last night and fell asleep on the couch while I was doing it and only made it to 15 minutes.
That's funny.
Yeah. That wasn't
it's a good
cool.
game.
I woke up and it says you're dead.
Rise and grind.
And then the only other thing, I started watching the first episode, or I finished the first episode of Star Wars Acolyte.
Oh, is it as bad as everybody says?
What I've heard, other than the like the 4.0 score on the TV, I've heard that it has a slow beginning, but then it gets better, and the story is actually really good.
Okay.
But I watched the first episode, and I thought the story was very engaging. Like it's got a good little twist right off the beginning, and yeah. So I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
Nice.
But that's about it for my Geeky Week. So I guess we get right into the topic this week, which is Wolverine Annual 95. And I came up with this issue because currently at the time of recording, are you guys familiar with Marvel Insider? The club where you earn points by doing different Marvel things?
I think so.
No.
Okay. Well, it exists. And it's like whether you play their games or if you, read their news articles or listen to their podcasts, and you get points towards your Marvel Insider points thing, and you can redeem those points for worthless items.
Like Dr. Pepper Perks Club.
Yeah, like that, or like the Disney, the Disney movie points thing. But there's different downloadable things you can turn it in for. They used to do, if you had enough points, you could actually be drawn into a comic.
Whoa!
And I've got well more than enough points to do that, but it's like grayed out. Like they must have had too many people do that.
Dang.
So you lost your chance.
But I'm asking about that because when I loaded up the Marvel Unlimited app to look for a comic to talk about, it says, hey, you can get 1,000 bonus points if you read through these 4 early interactions or team ups with Wolverine and Deadpool.
That's a really cool way to get people engaged.
Yeah, so it says here's 4, start now, and I clicked on start now and it brought me to this one. And then after I read a couple pages, it says, don't forget to continue on to the other 3 to get your 1,000 points. But now that box is gone. So I
Oh.
finished the first of the 4 books, and now I don't know how to get back to it. But I could probably go to the Marvel Insider website and get a link or something. But this is what they consider one of the first team ups. I don't know chronologically if that's true or not, but it is 1995, and that's pretty early into the Deadpool days. So it's a Wolverine Annual, and as we've talked about before, annuals are things that came out once a year, and they would be either like sub stories or side stories or stories to kick off some kind of storyline into the next years of comics. So this particular one, and they were always bigger and fatter and more expensive. So this particular one was like 56 pages or something, and it had 2 stories in it. And the second of the 2 stories is the one we're going to talk about. It's titled "What the Cat Dragged In," and this is a team up with Deadpool. Now, the first story, I don't think you guys read it because I told you not to. But the
Nope.
first story was written by Larry Hama, friend of the podcast, Larry Hama.
Friend of the podcast. If only. You got his autograph once.
That's true. He is like number 1 bucket list for me. There's a lot bigger names in comics, but that was if I could only meet and talk to, and he was super nice, and we talked for a long time. Only meet and talk to one person in that industry besides Brian Horton. Then it would have been Larry Hama, friend of the podcast. So I did read through that one. It was kind of a weird story, though. But we decided to tackle the What the Cat Dragged In. And first thing I wanted to ask you about is this is 1995, which I know we've read a lot of old comics and we've read more recent comics. But besides the X-Men issue number 1 that we did recently, which was like 1992-ish, that has a very unique art style because of who was drawing it. What did you think about the art style of this? Did it jump out at you as being completely different than what you've recognized before?
Can I derail the conversation real fast?
Okay.
We
didn't even rail it yet.
You mentioned friend of the podcast Brian Horton, and it made me think of Magic the Gathering. I think you'll be interested in this. Well, I'm bringing it up because he drew the original illustration for a card called Buried Alive, I think, or something. But they're reprinting that in Secret Lair, which is when they do crazy absurd reprints and crazy absurd art. And that card is in a Monty Python set of cards. So
Whoa.
yeah, you should look it up. They are printing Monty Python and the Holy Grail themed cards. There's like 10 of them or something.
Nice.
So, yeah, you should look it up because it's really funny.
Is there going to be a white rabbit?
I don't think there's a white rabbit. It's mostly, I think it's all Holy Grail stuff.
Well, he's from the Holy Grail.
Oh, then I don't know.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, a long time ago.
More than 50 times?
No.
Okay, then you better catch up.
I just thought you should look that up. I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with some good old Monty Python.
No. And it was relevant, but now we can get back to the train back on the track.
Train back on the track. We're talking about Wolverine Annual 95. Story number 2, What the Cat Dragged In. And I was asking about the art style.
Yes.
Like, did you find it different than modern comics, different than older comics? Like, what jumped out at you about the art style, if anything?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it kind of looks like a combination of new and old. Like everything is kind of like exaggerated and cartoony. And it looks like it was digitally drawn. But there is still a lot of like OG, like comic book-esque like line work and stuff, I think.
It looks like it's early in the days of digital, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and they were leaning on it a little bit. Very very bright colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the deranged Wolverine from the issue previous, like the last panel of the first story. But that kind of sets the mood of what Wolverine is going through in this book, where he's becoming more and more feral.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So he looks really crazy.
I'm just glad this wasn't Cat Beast days. I don't know when Cat Beast was, but it's looking pretty close to Cat Beast.
Yeah. Yep. So we start off with Wolverine. So Wolverine's been outside, and that's what I was talking about in the first issue. He was outside the whole time, just kind of roaming the grounds around the mansion, like a cat. And I'm guessing that's why it's called "What the Cat Dragged In."
Yeah, because that title doesn't make any sense for the rest of the story.
So he's kind of patrolling, if you will, the woods around the mansion, and he hears, a crash, a metallic crash. Goes out there to find his good friend Maverick,
Friend of the podcast, Maverick.
friend of the podcast.
Sure.
So, what do you guys know about Maverick?
Nothing.
Yeah.
From inference, you could tell that they were friends or teammates of some sort.
Yeah, I did go on like a wiki deep dive a little bit after reading this, so.
Oh, okay.
I know more than I originally did when I read it.
Gotcha. So, did you know that you saw him in the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine?
No, which one is he in that?
He's Agent Zero. He's like an excellent marksman. I guess they all kind of are. But he's part of Team X.
Oh, that guy.
Which originally started with Logan, and then him, David North, or Maverick, or Agent Zero.
Wait,
and then,
but the wiki says his name is Christopher.
Yeah, that's his. I think that's his birth name, but he started going by David North once he was being looked for by the CIA or something.
Sure. Okay.
So Team X was him and Logan and Sabretooth. But he was part of Team X that was getting experimented on, just like the Weapon X.
Yeah.
Dealio, and he does have a slight healing factor from Wolverine's DNA, along with some other great skills like marksmanship and being able to transfer kinetic energy into like more strength or something. So
that seems to be a common power.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It comes in handy when you're getting bashed around a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolverine stumbles upon him close to death, and we find out that he's suffering from this legacy virus. Did you go down the rabbit hole of searching up the legacy virus?
I did.
Okay.
No.
What'd you find out about that?
That it might be a reference to AIDS, and that it killed Magic and
Ilana,
a bunch of other folks.
Oh.
It primarily existed in the mutants, and then they were trying to find a cure, and eventually Colossus sacrificed himself for the cure or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was released by Strife, who is the silver-looking dude. That's he's a clone of Cable that Apocalypse kind of raised up. But he's from the future. He's from 2,000 years in the future. He used 2,000 years of mutant research to come up with this virus.
Yeah, they said they used like the Summers DNA, I think.
Right. Yeah, 2,000 years of that bloodline to come up with this virus. So it's hurting some people. It's killing some people. It's making people's powers a little bit weak. So that's where Maverick's at. And I guess just previous to this issue, he was so frustrated with this virus that he wanted Wolverine to kill him, and Wolverine
So that he didn't
refused to kill
suffer.
him.
Yeah.
But that's where we find him, and apparently he's been attacked recently in one of his safe houses. Now this dude is rich, so he's got safe houses all over the world. He was a mercenary also. I'm guessing that's where he got his money from. And so he got attacked in one of his safe houses, and he could tell by what they were saying that they're looking for people with this Wolverine DNA stuff to do experiments on.
To
Hey,
try to
didn't
find
you already
spirit.
do experiments on us?
Mhm.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, do
Um,
they still not have any of his DNA that they can look at? That's crazy.
So he went to the mansion to warn Wolverine that, hey, if they're looking for your DNA in us, then they will probably come to you. So he's there to warn them, and at the same time say, hey, they've already got Deadpool,
Yeah, let's go get him.
so we should probably go rescue him. So what do you think about that first panel with Deadpool in it? Did you recognize him as Deadpool right away, or?
Yeah.
Well, I knew Deadpool was in it, so I was like, "Oh, that's Deadpool."
Right.
He's got the face.
Yeah, he
I'm,
got
I'm
the.
gonna admit that I read it. I saw them refer to him as Mr. Wilson, and I'm still like, who's this ugly dude? And then it took me once I saw the yellow speech bubbles that I knew it was Deadpool. So you know
Why does
about
he
the
have
yellow.
yellow speech bubbles?
So he started off with the comics with outlined. It was red outlined speech bubbles, and then it went to yellow, then went back to red, and now in modern comics it's just a yellow background speech bubble.
Oh.
And they do that for characters who have distinct voices. So Thanos has like a purple like line around his.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man, whenever his mask is down, has a different font and a different, like, they're squared off bubbles instead of circular bubbles
Oh,
to give it more of
interesting.
like a robotic voice.
Mm-hmm.
And for Deadpool, they did this because in the comics, his voice is supposed to be very gravelly, because
Oh.
his vocal cords got scarred by the same thing that scarred his face.
Crazy, because I'm just reading it as Ryan Reynolds.
Everybody now just reads it as Ryan Reynolds, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is this is a decade before Ryan Reynolds, steps into that part.
Right.
But the wording and everything, like
Yeah.
the sarcasm, the humor, the insults, it's just that character that we know from the movies, and I think that just makes it that much more impressive that he's been able to step into that role, even though he's playing himself, because he's like that in every movie he's been in. somehow they predicted his existence from way back in the 90s.
I've been seeing all of the like the press tour stuff, when they go to BuzzFeed and Wired and all that, and they do the like the lie detector test and stuff, and it's hilarious. They are so funny together.
Yeah, we watched the Hot Ones episode.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
That was really
I
good.
cheat at Wordle.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that.
I saw that on TikTok. It was just that clip. I cracked up for 10 minutes. I watched it so many times.
Yeah, those guys are genuinely like good friends and very respectful of each other. It's good to see in an industry that is so full of ego and stuff, that there can be a friendship like that.
It was sweet. Also, Ryan Reynolds posted on Instagram. It was a picture of I think it was Ryan Reynolds. It might have been Hugh Jackman, but maybe it was both of them. They posted it was a picture of everybody in the Fox universe. So like all of like James McAvoy and all of the Young Avengers. And they posted like a thank
Young
you
X-Men.
to Young X-Men, not Young Avengers. Different thing.
That's a movie we're still waiting for.
Yeah, right? Where's my remake of that cartoon that I watched a billion times as a kid? But they made a thank you to Fox, and and like a goodbye to them, I guess. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet.
That's
It's
cool.
like now they're in the MCU now, which will probably treat them better and do more research, hopefully. Maybe remember the timelines.
Well, reading through Maverick's, little wiki page, that X-Men Origins movie was pretty spot on.
Yeah, I didn't read all. I got confused when it started talking about the Agent Zero or whatever his name is part. I'm like, wait, is this the same person or is this someone he fought? I don't understand. But
yeah, I think just a alter ego, just another name.
Yeah.
Well, well, back to what he looks like. I thought he looked.
Thanks for bringing us back, Danny.
You're welcome. I thought in some of the frames of him close up with like the orangish lighting, he looks like the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they give a lot of detail to his face, and then zoomed out, it just looks like any like early 1980s horror person, like the Toxic Avenger or something.
Yeah.
Which you don't know the Toxic Avenger now, but you will. No. They're remaking it.
What do you mean?
Just like every other thing. He was
like a
yeah. He was a janitor that got into some toxic waste and became a superhero type person.
Oh, interesting.
But he looked like that, all scarred up. Apparently toxic waste does that to you. So we got Wade Wilson, the merc with the mouth, all strung up in some lab, and they're poking him with needles and stuff. And they're trying to get some blood and bone marrow out of him so they can figure out if they can make a cure, because they just want to, these unknown bad guys here, they just want to help humanity.
Doesn't make them seem the most bad.
Well, they're looking to sell it.
True. That's worse.
They're looking to capitalize on it.
Big pharma.
Yep. So he's being tortured somewhere in the Canadian-American border, which it looks like right at Niagara Falls. But this is just a setting change, showing him being tortured and whatnot. Because we're going back to the main storyline of where Maverick has just crash landed at the mansion, and he was beat up pretty bad. So of course they brought him in to see Doc McCoy, and the Beast is helping him out. And what does it say? 42 hours of being in a coma, he finally comes to. So hopefully Deadpool isn't waiting around for them to rescue him, because this has been 2 days that he's been in a coma. And he's like, I need to get out of here. I need to help people. And of course, Beast is like, no, you need to rest. And so he just walks off.
Yeah.
Goes back outside, finds who he's looking for, which is, of course, Wolverine, still out there patrolling.
I like how he said the best way to find Wolverine is to let him find you.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good line.
Yeah.
I like that line. So he's out there and he's trying to convince Wolverine, hey, we need to go rescue Deadpool, even though I don't think he likes him all that much.
Yeah.
But I guess he figures it's the right thing to do. So he tells him how he got attacked and figures we need to stop these bad guys, get Wade Wilson out of there. So they need to find out where he's being held captive. And that takes 48 hours. So now, poor Deadpool, strung up there, being poked and prodded, had to wait 42 hours for Maverick to wake up, and then another 48 hours for them to find, the secret hidden base or whatever.
They're playing tic-tac-toe on his chest because he's healing it back up.
And they're looking for this hidden secret base, which is apparently just protruding out of the waterfall. It's not hidden at all. Like, you can see it. Like, we're talking about one of the biggest tourist attractions in North America. Millions of people go there to look at the waterfall, and nobody's seen this ginormous base sticking out of the side of the mountain.
Don't question the logic.
Okay. It's just a book.
It's how you enjoy it.
So So we see, you know, just before we get the rescue team in there, we see this guy, Slayback.
Yeah, who the heck is this weirdo?
He's one of Deadpool's enemies.
Okay.
He's playing tic-tac-toe on Deadpool's body by scratching him, and then as he heals it, he erases it. But apparently, Deadpool's not winning very many matches, and we've got the bad guys, I guess, if you will.
Big
Uh,
Pharma.
yeah, parading some people through, talking about all the good things that they're doing, and how they're hoping to find this cure. But we get the rescue crew in there, and they're sneaking around. So proud to be in there without causing any commotion until I guess an alarm goes off or something, and all these robots come after him. And they don't
That's
even fight
crazy.
they
Yeah.
don't even fight the robot guards for one panel,
Nope.
because the next panel they're fighting to free Deadpool from his restraints, and we get some good banter between them. That first line that he says, "I'm so touched you boys remembered my birthday." Like, that's exactly what you were saying, that I read that right in Ryan Reynolds' voice.
Yeah.
So they free Deadpool. Big fight ensues with Slayback, but it doesn't take long for them to win. And
They kick some butt
kick some butt.
and
And
they get
then
out of there.
as they're fighting, I think the bad guys know this isn't going to go their way, so they set a self-destruct mechanism and start getting out of there themselves. And next thing you know, boom, the base blows up. They have to jump out of the exploding building, into the big, or down the big waterfall, and they smack the ground, which is okay if you've got kinetic skills that help you recover from that, or if you have some kind of healing
Plot
ability.
armor.
And as they smack the ground, they find, I guess, some shield agents, with one of them looking exactly like a super buff grade version of Nick Fury, but his name is GW Bridge, which I found extremely funny. You guys heard of the GW Bridge?
No.
Mm-mm.
George Washington?
Yeah. So one of the big bridges that crosses, I think, the Potomac to get into
Oh.
Washington, D.C. is called the GW.
That's funny.
So you got GW Bridge there, and
Typical S.H.I.E.L.D. agents doing like, hey, you guys made it more messy for us.
yeah, got to clean up your mess now. But they get back to the mansion. I guess Deadpool had sent in some of his blood.
Yeah,
to,
I guess Deadpool was like being hunted by S.H.I.E.L.D. for being part bad sometimes, I guess.
being a nuisance.
Yeah, being Deadpool.
But he was nice enough to send some blood to Hank McCoy so that they can try to figure out a cure in their lab. And I guess the blood doesn't do it, but eventually I think he has to use like other parts of his body, like, I don't know, bones or something. And they eventually, outside of this comic, they do find the cure.
Yeah, it's Colossus, apparently.
That's true. So, what'd you guys think of this story?
It was like kind of short.
Yeah.
Like short and sweet. You know, you get your fighting, you get your silly banter. You get part of a larger story. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what these annuals were good for. Like I said, sometimes it's just a completely separate story from all the stuff that's going on. Sometimes it's just a transition from one story event to the other. And this legacy virus thing had spanned a couple different storylines for, I think, about 3 years in the comics.
Well, it said it was like 93 to 2001 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Even longer.
It seemed like a big problem and killed off a bunch of people. Which is confusing.
If you were watching this on YouTube, we'd scroll their names up the screen
Like
and play
I'm
some somber
confused.
music.
I'm confused how Magic is dead, but like they still do be making stuff for her, right? Like, is it just? This is why comic books are so weird. You never know what universe you're reading.
No
Like,
They
one's
always
ever
come
dead.
back.
they always come back.
Everybody except for Uncle Ben.
Oh, he dies in
That would-
every
that would-
universe.
That would ruin too many things if he came back.
Yeah, isn't that the whole point of Into the Spider-Verse or whatever?
Yeah, probably. I saw that
Yeah.
movie once.
Through the Spider-Verse, the second one. Canon events. Cue the
Yep.
TikTok music that went viral when that movie first came out.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever it was. Yeah.
It's not to get a copyright strike now.
Don't
I
worry,
don't
we
think
were
either of
off.
us. Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, I thought it was a good story. Good little refreshing. It's good to get everything started and finished in one read instead of
Yeah.
having to read about it for a whole year, month by month, and forgetting what's happening in between.
I've got one more question.
Go for
How does Wolverine get all of that hair under his mask?
it.
Don't question it.
Yeah. Super spandex.
Super spandex. And it even comes down and covers his mutton chops?
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I read somewhere where, a lot of comic characters have strange features to their head and shapes and hats and stuff. Was it you that was telling me that, Danny? Why they did that to make it easier to draw them over and over again so they wouldn't have to draw hair.
Maybe makes sense though, because
Just give him
hair
two
would-
triangles on top of his head.
yeah,
Boom.
hair
Yeah.
would be annoying.
Because they don't have the Photoshop hairbrush. Oh, hairbrush. I should patent that.
It'd also be inconvenient to have hair while being a superhero. It's like you're about to attack someone, and then your hair gets in your face. Like, oh crap! Like,
No one
hold
wants
on.
that. Especially during those goth years where everybody's bangs were in their face.
Huh? Emo bangs?
Emo, yeah. All right, so I'll have to find that list so that we can see what other books were on this list that can get me 1,000 bonus points. So I can
And-
get myself drawn in a comic book someday.
And you'll have to have some wicked head thing to cover your hair. They don't want to draw your hair.
I've got my Turby twist.
Yeah.
My patented Turby twist. This
Not
episode brought to you by
sponsored.
Family
Turby Twist.
Geekery Turby twist coming soon.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
it kind of does match the color scheme of Family Geekery.
Just a microfiber towel with our logo on it.
That would be cool. That would be a crazy collab. Hit us up, Turby Twist. Well, tune in next week when we talk about the movie Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, are we?
Yeah. Well, mention it at least in our Geeky Weeks.
Yes. We have to go see that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to wait till all the crazy people saw it first so that we could go see it in peace. I don't know if that's even a possibility anymore.
Who knows?
You gonna cosplay? Lady Deadpool?
No.
Groot Deadpool.
Groot Deadpool.
Did you see the person that took the screenshot from the Lady Deadpool scene and zoomed into the background? You know, where she's in, I think, one of the recent trailers, she's walking towards the camera
Uh-huh.
in slow motion, and there's nothing but a bunch of dust behind her, like red dust or orange dust or something.
Uh-huh.
Well, they zoomed in on the orange dust behind her, and you see the silhouette of Deadpool but he's got a very distinctive outfit on, and it looks like that outfit that they used in Avengers Endgame, kind of the time traveling suit with the white, chest boxes.
Oh, yeah?
Chest boxes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it
Yeah.
looks like that suit on Deadpool. So I wonder if they're going to write him into that event like he was there. We just didn't know about it at the time.
Like he was where? At Endgame?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like time traveling?
Who knows what they're going to do? They're going to make fun of so much stuff, and it's going to be so funny.
Right.
That's one thing about this comic. I wish I understood his references more. Because these are all like pre-95 references, and I don't get those.
Well, he made reference to the doctor who like cured polio or something. I had to look that one up.
I understood ER as a show, but I don't know it.
Oh, yeah. The cast of ER.
Yeah.
That was where that one guy got his start.
Who?
That one actor that I don't know anybody's name.
Typical. Same.
Yep. And someone listening to this is screaming his name at their radio right now.
Tune in next week when we talk about ER.
ER. Their crossover event with Deadpool. Well, cool. Any other final thoughts on this story?
Huh?
Nope.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Like Amber said, tune in next episode to talk more about Deadpool and Wolverine. We thank you as always for listening. Go check out our socials. Go check out our YouTube channel. See what's going on there. Let us know what's your favorite story with Wolverine and Deadpool are. Email us, podcast@familygeekery.com. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, they can't hear head nodding, girls.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
There, that's better.
Pterodactyl.
I'm not sure the pterodactyl noise was what they were expecting for an affirmative response. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thanks for listening. Until next time, peace out.
And geek out.
Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.